Oklahoma, a state in the middle of the U.S., where corn, soybeans, and wheat fields stretch endlessly. But at this time of year, the fields are no longer peaceful. Wild pigs, destructive creatures, have appeared in terrifying numbers and destroyed more than 200 hectares of crops in less than 2 weeks. This time, we decided to head straight up the mountain, to their lair, to put an end to the destruction that is spreading every day. We started early in the morning. 2 large feeders were placed on the familiar trail, where people said the pigs often appeared. The trough contained a mixture of corn, pellets, and a special scent to attract them. No voice, no strong movements, just eye contact. When the distance was just right, the first bullet whizzed by. The boar collapsed right next to the trough. We continued our ambush at the second trough, more than 500 meters away from the first position. After more than an hour of waiting, another boar came. This is it. Once again, we have the absolute initiative. It seems that our position has been discovered, which makes waiting quite a bit of time. We started expanding our hunting range to the neighboring areas. We moved to a nearby plateau, which has a fairly diverse ecosystem, making it a perfect shelter for the pigs. Here it is. At a distance of 200 m, we opened fire. The pigs were caught off guard, unable to react. They were frantic, but all paths were blocked. A surprise attack, but extremely effective. Adjust the scope, check the surrounding areas, determined not to miss any targets. You see the dark shadows behind the tree. Boom! The gunshots are crisp. The leader fell. It was bigger than I thought. It was truly a great trophy. Without wasting any time, we followed the tracks of those who had escaped the previous battle. We walked for nearly 2 hours. Look! A few minutes later, with just one accurate shot, the wild boar was taken down. The feeling of hunting wild boars made me extremely excited. After the battle on the plateau, a few remaining ones ran towards the mountain top about 500 m away, an ideal escape route for them. Wild boars move very fast, so I had to aim accurately and pull the trigger at the right time to hit the target. Although the task was difficult, for professional hunters like us, it was normal and required to be done. The The situation was extremely chaotic at this time, the herd of pigs frantically searching for a way to escape. But every corner was surrounded. In a moment, the wild boar ran past my sight. I quickly pulled the trigger. However, they were extremely fast. Not only me, my teammates also took down quite a few wild boars. Therefore, today we certainly will not have to return empty-handed. Time is not early anymore. On the way back, the black shadows standing out in the middle of the field caught the attention of the whole team. Another herd of wild boars was found. At a distance of about 160 meters, I fired a few consecutive shots. The leader fell down. A fierce chase followed immediately after that. Luckily, we were able to close in time, taking down the remaining ones before they successfully escaped. The last shots ended a long day filled with the smell of gunpowder and endless battles. A giant wild boar, the ruler of Russia's deep forests. Can it really be taken down? With its superior strength, incredible speed, and fierce nature, it has become a nightmare for the Russian people. However, with special hunting tactics, we'll reveal how to hunt it down with ease. This intense confrontation is sure to keep your eyes glued to the screen. Join us and witness how we conquer this beast. In Russia, the wild boar population is estimated to have increased by over 300% in the past 2 decades, causing severe environmental damage. In the past, wild boars in Russia were hunted by wolves and brown bears. However, due to excessive hunting and habitat changes, the number of these predators has significantly declined, allowing the boar population to thrive. Brutal winter blankets Russia in ice and snow, but this is the ideal time to hunt wild boars. As the biting cold makes food scarce, the boars are forced to leave their hiding places, creating the perfect hunting opportunity. To Despite the freezing temperatures, we cannot afford to delay. Wild boars reproduce rapidly, destroy crops, and are becoming increasingly aggressive. Following signals from our hunting dogs, we spot a lone boar trying to escape. I tighten my grip on my weapon, carefully take aim, and with a single shot, the boar goes down. Another herd of wild boars dashes away at an incredible speed. It's only a fleeting moment, but with years of hunting experience, I quickly take down the leader. We continue chasing and taking down several more boars. Upon arriving at the hunting grounds in Africa, we were filled with both excitement and caution. This place is not only a land of majestic golden grasslands, but also a battleground where predators and prey are in a constant struggle for survival. Our companion, a seasoned hunter who lives here, told us that the wildlife population has exploded, posing a threat to nearby villages. A hunting expedition is necessary to control the population and restore the natural balance. We followed the tracks of a lion pride lurking near the forest's edge, where villagers had reported repeated livestock attacks. A deep, resonating growl echoed in the distance, signaling the presence of a true predator. Lions are dangerous animals, so we had to be extremely careful. Quickly getting into position, we raised our guns, ready for a life or death battle. Moving cautiously through the low bushes and hiding behind massive tree trunks, we felt the tension thick in the air. The first bullet fired, hitting the lion's shoulder, but it wasn't enough to bring it down. Fury ignited in his eyes as it roared loudly. We had to coordinate perfectly, continuously firing to prevent a sudden counterattack from this mighty predator. As the lion collapsed, we sighed in relief, but we knew this was just the beginning of a long and challenging day. Continuing our journey, we ventured into the vast savanna, where a herd of zebras grazed peacefully. The villagers needed their meat and hides, as their increasing numbers were affecting the food supply of other wildlife. Unlike the encounter with the lion, this was a real chase. Zebras are swift as the wind. At the slightest noise, they would bolt like a storm. We split into teams, with one group applying pressure to drive them into an ambush. Shots rang out, and the zebras panicked, sprinting forward. But we had calculated their path. A fully grown zebra was taken down instantly. The rest vanished into the distance, leaving deep hoof prints in the dry grass. Fortunately, we managed to take down another zebra before they escaped completely. While tracking the zebras, we suddenly spotted a kudu, a massive antelope with impressive spiral horns, hiding in the dense bushes. Approaching a kudu is no easy task. They are incredibly alert and can sprint away at high speed if they sense danger. A large male kudu stood apart, scanning its surroundings cautiously. This was our target. The first shot fired, the kudu staggered before collapsing. The rest of the herd fled instantly, but we had already planned ahead. Another team member lay in wait, aimed carefully, and pulled the trigger, a perfect shot. Moving along the vast grasslands, we encountered another herd of antelopes grazing. Alongside zebras, antelopes are an essential source of meat in many African cultures. Locals use their meat for food, while their hides are crafted into traditional clothing and tools. Under the blazing sun, the antelopes remained highly alert, their eyes constantly scanning for danger. When one antelope wandered slightly away from the herd, we knew it was the perfect opportunity. We carefully approached to avoid detection. This was the moment. We were ready to fire. A precise shot struck the target. The large antelope collapsed instantly after a loud gunshot echoed across the plains. As soon as the target appeared, we pulled the trigger. The gunshot rang out, one shot, one kill. This hunt not only yielded significant results but also helped balance the wildlife population, ensuring the safety of the local people.